Welcome everybody again, and thank you for joining us for our live with ByDesign webinar. Today we are going to be focusing on marketing tools for your field, for those reps that are out there hustling, sharing the business. I'm joined today by a good friend and newest preferred partner of ByDesign. I have Mark Hughes with us from Penny AI. So I'm going to spend the first few minutes talking about some of the off-the-shelf products that are available within your ByDesign back office. And then I'm going to turn it over to Mark, who can talk about their mobile app and how it really helps your reps to know where to spend their time and what to do with their time. So that's the agenda for the day. And with that, I will go ahead and get started. So when I'm talking about marketing tools for your field, the very first thing that I like to make sure everybody's aware of is simple link sharing. This can be one of the most powerful tools and ways for your reps to really grow their business is they have to be able to share that link. They have to be able to help people get to their shopping cart. And while it may seem very simple, a lot of times reps don't know how to do this. So I like to start here. And there's a couple of ways that this can happen. First and foremost, from the cart itself, your reps have a couple of different options for sharing that link. When I'm viewing any individual product, there will be a share feature below the images and below the description. So you can see it down there. There's the share with Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, email. Whenever I click on any one of those, it's going to allow me to share that link in one of those ways. Okay. So that share link is going to be tied to that specific product. If I'm looking at the smartwatch and I hit the share on that product, it'll take them to the smartwatch. If I'm viewing something else, it'll take them to that specific product. So this is going to be the best way for your reps to refer people to a specific product. I always say it's best to, add that personalized content, which they can do whenever they click share. They will have the opportunity to share their own thoughts and personalize it before posting. This is going to be really great for them to share their favorite products, shares tips for using the products, and so on. If you at the corporate office find that you do not have this share functionality showing on your cart, there is a setting for it, and I've put it on the screen there. So if you do not see that share option, that's where you can go and turn on the setting, which will enable it on every product. The second way to share in the cart is we do have a somewhat new option in the header of your cart. So you can see up there in the blue band where it says, hello, Cassie Lewis. It has my country options, language options. There's a refer someone. Whenever I click to refer in this way, it's not going to be tied to a specific product. It's just going to share the URL for the cart itself. And it's also going to retain that I am the person that shared it. So as a rep, it's not as important. I mean, the replication is important, but this is also a way that you can empower customers to refer other customers. And as a customer, if I were to refer someone using this link, it's going to tie them to my customer ID. So if you have a loyalty program or a program that rewards customers for referring other customers, this is going to be the mechanism for customers to be able to share that cart and retain that association. You can still turn this on even if you don't have that kind of program in place, because it's still going to allow both reps and customers to share that link back to the shopping cart. Again, if this is something that you don't have turned on in your cart and you'd like to, I've put the link, or not the link, the setting right there on the screen. So those are the two settings that you will want to enable if you'd like to take advantage of both of these options for sharing the cart. Now, I also find that a good practice is to also put the cart link in the Revolution back office. So your rep back office, oftentimes reps want to be able to quickly find that link for their cart, and they don't want to necessarily have to navigate to the cart to find that. So there is a way using the free text widget on your dashboard manager. You can use a free text widget, insert your generic shopping cart link, so the shop.bydesign slash whatever your company name is, shop. Then you're going to use the field tag for the rep URL. So I've put a screenshot in there so you can see exactly how it is set up. And then on the right, you're going to see how it is displayed within Revolution. Obviously, you can add text around that. You can use HTML to make it very pretty. I obviously did not, but the point here is that you can actually provide this link directly in the back office for your reps so that they can very easily copy and paste that to whomever they might want to share it to. I actually have seen a couple of our clients do a really great job of maximizing this, and they will actually offer multiple links here. So if you're sharing your cart link, here's what you want to share. If you're sharing the link to join, here's what you want to share. If if you have multiple rep types, you can say ready to enroll an affiliate, click here. Ready to enroll a team builder, click here. So you can have multiple links set up here. The key is to start with the generic join link or shop link and then affix that rep URL as that field tag. Let me just quickly let someone else in here. All right, so if you don't have that set up, I encourage you to do so, and you can always reach out to support for assistance, but that is how you can actually help them to share the cart directly from the rep back office as well. Now, I also want to talk about sharing orders because that's very different than sharing links. Sharing links is where I'm just blasting out, here's all the ways that people can find my products and shop with me. Orders are very different. And there's two different ways that you can think of this. One is going to be, I want to set up maybe recommended products or a introduction to our products. Okay, these may be curated orders that I want to create, but I don't want to limit myself to only sending it to one person. I want to be able to blast my customer list or post it onto social media. And the way you can do that is using the wish list functionality. So as a rep, I can go into my cart and create multiple wish lists. You can see in my example here, I've got a list for weight loss that has 3 products related to weight loss. I also have a muscle building that has 4 items in it. So especially if you have different products on offer, your reps can curate lists depending on what a customer might be looking for. Even if you don't have that variety in products, you can still set up or help your reps to set up wish lists for, the basics, how to introduce them to the products, or maybe there's a new product line that you want them to set up that wish list for. Regardless of how many lists or what goes into the wish list, the key is that once I have that wish list created, I can click to share that list, and you can see it right on the right-hand side of the screen. There's that button that says share list. When I click that, it's going to allow me to either share it to an individual person or to post it on social media. And the key to doing this is, as a rep, I've created this list, I've shared it. Anybody who clicks on that is going to land on the cart, but with these items already selected. So it's a really great marketing tool as a rep if I want to introduce products or I want to help customers to know which products are a good fit for them or which products I encourage people to try. This is going to be a really great way for me to do that. So again, it's really easy. The rep just creates the wish list and clicks to share. Now, if you don't have wish lists enabled, that's going to be a problem. So there are some freedom settings that you're going to want to enable. The first one is just enabling the wish list functionality. The next one allows them to share that list. And then the third one is there for any of you who are party plan companies. There is the ability to tie a wish list to a party. So in that case, when a rep is coming in and creating that wish list to share, they can also associate it to a party before they even send it. Meaning anybody that gets that link will arrive at the cart with those wish list items already selected and already associated to the party. So we're really trying to empower the reps to market those specific products and get those customers to check out quicker. There's also a functionality in the rep back office called order draft. This is going to be where your rep can create an order and send it to a specific customer. So instead of marketing it to multiple at once or posting it on social, now I'm sending it to an individual. Okay, so I'm going to find that customer in my customer manager. I'm going to build out the order, pick which items to put on it, and then I'm going to email that order to that specific customer. The difference here is that the customer clicks on the link in that email and they're immediately taken to checkout where all they have to do is pay. Okay, so it really is cutting to the very last step. It's one click to pay, and it makes it very easy for that customer to complete the order. As a rep, I also have a report in my back office that lets me view any of these order drafts that I have created and sent but have not been redeemed. So especially at the end of the period, at month end, weekend, whatever, I can go in and revisit those customers, send them a reminder, hey, you haven't completed that order yet. Don't miss out on these great products that I've selected for you. If this is something that you'd like to turn on and you don't have it turned on, the freedom settings are there for you. It's important to understand there are both settings and an autoresponder template because there's an email that's going out to the customer. So it's important to make sure you have that autoresponder configured along with the actual setting that you have in freedom settings. There's also the ability to set an expiration on this because whenever I, as a rep, create this order and send it to a customer, it's going to soft allocate the inventory. So if I have sent this out to multiple people, there is some inventory being held by these orders. So it's important to make sure you have an expiration that makes sense for you in your business because you don't want these out there tying up your inventory and then leading to a back order situation if the orders haven't been redeemed. So that third setting for the expiration is going to allow you to do exactly that. All right, aside from link sharing and order creation, there are some tools in the Freedom Backoff or in Revolution that are really going to help your reps to market the business. The first is going to be resources. The resource page is an area where you at the corporate office can upload resources, whether it be PDFs, Word docs, PowerPoints, audio recordings. There's all sorts of different file formats that can go here. And when you upload them, you can do so in categories. So you can categorize training information versus new consultant information, incentive trips, anything that you want to. You can create different categories and then categorize your resources accordingly. You also have the ability to limit who can see each resource. So if you have resources that are really geared toward your leaders, you can put a minimum rank in there so that only your leaders see that information. So those are just a couple of ways that you can cater your resources that are showing to your reps. The reps themselves can view the resources, download them, and share them. We also have Showcase, which is our video library. Very similar to the resources section, but it's all about videos. You can still hide and show it by rank. There are still categories. And this time you also have the ability to insert a description of your company. That's important because as a rep, when I share these videos out, that company description will accompany that video. So you want to make sure that you've got great marketing content there so that as a rep, when I share these videos, the recipient can not only watch the video, but they can learn a little bit about the company. And then there's easy buttons there to shop and join. The key to Showcase is that it retains that replication to the rep. So as a rep, if I share this video, anybody who watches the video, they're going to see my name, my picture, and when they click to shop or join, they're going to be taken to my site. So that's a really important feature in the Showcase area. And then the last one that I really love, that I love talking about, is something that we call contact groups. Contact groups are a tool in your freedom package that displays on Revolution. And basically, at the corporate level, you determine the rules around these contact groups. So, for example, with customers, you can determine who are the customers that I want my reps to stay in contact with. You can do this based on purchase history. Maybe you're going to set up a group of anybody that has purchased a particular inventory category within the last 6 months. You can get very specific. You can say, I want to show customers who have purchased this foundation but have not purchased the applicator brush. That would be a group. You could say, the opposite. Maybe they've purchased the brush but not the foundation. You can say anybody who has purchased a particular jewelry item that we just released a companion piece for. So that may be a great group of anybody that has purchased a related item in the past. The key here is that you're doing the filtering of data so that your reps can just come in, compose the message, and send it. You want to save them time so that they don't have to filter through their customers, but at the same time, you're helping them to reach a warm audience versus just going in and blasting my entire customer group with the same message. Now I can get targeted with my messaging. I can say, hey, did you know that we have a special brush for that foundation that you already purchased? Or, hey, I see that you purchased this particular product. Have you seen this new related product? Helps them to get more specific with their messaging, and they're more likely to get results from that more specific targeted marketing. So these are available for both customers and for reps, but they're going to function in the same way. For both, the corporate level is where the definition happens. So you're going to create the groups at the corporate level, and then the rep comes in and just sees those groups filtered for my own team or my own customers. All right. So those were the off-the-shelf tools from the Freedom platform. Now I am going to turn it over to our preferred partner, Penny AI, and let Mark take it away.
Thank you, Cassie. Great to see the advancement of the tool set on the ByDesign platform. So you're probably all wondering, why is Penny even exist and how does it help somebody using the ByDesign platform? Well, let me give you the quick backstory here. Our co-founder's wife was a mid-level leader with Rodan and Fields. Remember the days when Rodan existed before they went sideways here? Anyway, she was a mid-level leader with Rodan and Fields. Her challenge was she was doing prospecting and taking care of her customers, but it was keeping track of those details. What she did today, well, she was trying to raise three little kids, have a business. She was a NICU nurse, a neonatal intensive care nurse. So she had a very intense job, but she was building a business with Rodan and Fields. So keeping track of the details. She really needed a CRM system. So some of you may go, what is a CRM? Customer Relationship Management System. So CRM is not a term that you want to be throwing necessarily at your field. They're going to go, what the heck is a CRM? Think of a CRM as just a way to organize your contacts, your customers, your order history, your genealogy, and that's why Penny was built. So for Terry Lynn Abbey, our co-founder's wife, she was struggling with an Excel spreadsheet, paper notebook, sticky notes, and I'm sure you've seen that from people who are building a business. It's tough to keep all the details organized. So what we did was we created the Penny AI CRM system. As I said, we don't like to use the term CRM, but the idea here is that Penny organizes all the data, and we sit on top of ByDesign and surface customer history information, order history information, some of the content, etc., so that in the moment, a rep, an advocate at Crunchy, for example, and we have Christina here, head of field sales from Crunchy, who's going to talk about why she uses ByDesign and Penny and how that makes her advocates more effective and efficient in the field. But By surfacing that information to the mobile app or the web app, they can hit the ground running. If they only have 20 minutes in the day, we don't want them spending 15 of those minutes looking around in their notebook, trying to remember what they need to do. Penny surfaces a task list of things they should do to move their business forward. Next slide, please. So why are we better with ByDesign? We, as I said, sit on top of the ByDesign app and take all the wonderful features and data that they have and surface that in the moment to any advocate, rep, consultant, whatever you call your people in the field, so that when they open the app, it goes, oh, I have 3 follow-ups to do with some of my customers. I've got some auto ships coming up. Maybe I need to reach out and see if they want to continue with the auto ship this month, or maybe I can upsell them into some new products. Or I could be looking at doing some net new prospecting. So your reps have the ability to load all of their contacts into the Penny app, and then Penny organizes those prospects, and every day we'll push forward some prospects for them to work on. So you're all probably been dealing with reps who say, I don't know what to do today. Penny takes that away. The whole idea of Penny is for them to open up. Next slide, please. Open up the app, and Penny is going to serve up work for them to do. Now, this isn't magic pixie dust. Everyone goes, oh my goodness, I've got Penny AI. I'm just going to sit back and Penny's going to do all this for me. Okay, let's get real, folks. You still need to do some of the work. You still need to do some of the reach outs. Penny is just helping you organize. It's creating tasks based on the customer care profile that you have in your business. So you may determine that there's a 60-day cycle for your customers when you would want your reps to reach back out vis-a-vis trying to get a new order if they're not on auto ship. So we build the care cycles around your unique business. We did that for Crunchy. We did that for Rodin. We did that for Nu Skin and other companies. We build the app so that it follows the timing in your business. So what are the key features? We have built out what we call the daily. The daily is the single place most reps using the Penny app use on a regular basis and hardly ever go to the other sections. What does the daily do? It brings together the prospecting, the customer care, the team care, the content. It's all in one easy place for them to access, telling them, hey, if you do these tasks today, it's going to move your business forward. So the key features, the daily, the prospecting, the customer care, the team care, custom lists. That's a way of filtering your customers and prospects using custom tags and system generated tags, and then the content sharing. Why? Because you want to get the message out. Next slide, please. So here we are at the daily. Once again, we're both a mobile app and a desktop app. Most people use the mobile app when they're just on the run or out in the car or in the field or whatever they're doing. We have people using the desktop web app, 100% feature parity between the two. They use the desktop app sometimes when they're at home and they want more real estate and they're just focused, pounding away at doing some reach outs or follow-ups or whatever it is they want to focus on. So as I said, the daily surfaces all the good tasks that you should be focusing on so you can bang away at them. Now, Penny is not forcing you to do anything. Penny's just trying to suggest. As a good virtual assistant, she's saying, hey, you should do these things today. Now, you don't have to do them. And if you forget to do them or you're away for a few days, if a task goes stale, Penny just deletes it and moves on to the next stage in the cycle so that you're not trying to do something that doesn't make sense in the moment. Next slide, please.
Actually, I'm going to stop for just a second
Oh,
because there's a
great.
couple things here that I personally love. I love that it deletes those old tasks because if a rep comes in and they see hundreds of tasks, they're not
Yeah.
going to do anything, right? So that's a key point is that it does filter them out after a certain period of time. And then I also love, if you see in the screenshot at the top, the rep can adjust their daily. So if they want to get more tasks or fewer tasks, they can do that on their own. And then the system will automatically adjust to either give them more suggestions or not. I personally love that piece of it because I've seen very casual reps who are only doing this as a side hustle. They don't want to get overwhelmed. And then there are the leaders that are like, this is my jam. I'm making a career out of this. Give me as many of these leads and opportunities as possible. So I love that piece that Penny has input here, that the rep can choose how many of these tasks they want to see in the daily.
And that's the beauty of it is people say to us, they work in Penny for a few minutes one day and then they're off for a couple days for whatever reason. They're not working the business every day. The idea is that when they pick the app back up, so to speak, and open it up, Penny has already set where you should be at that moment. As I said, you don't have to spend time trying to realign yourself, trying to figure out what you did last. Penny's just surfacing that information for you. So next slide, please. Prospecting. Obviously, to start building your business, you got to pull in your contacts. Penny lets you load those contacts up from your phone, a spreadsheet, or and entering the name of somebody on the fly to follow up with. The idea here is it puts them in and then creates a care cycle once again for reach outs. How do you do that? Well, the content from the company and scripts. So we work with your team to determine what's the best content, what's the best talking point script at that point in the prospecting cycle. And we surface that as a suggestion to your rep to go, hey, this is what you did last time. This is the next piece of content we recommend you send to them. You can send it out or post it or whatever social channels you want to do. But it sets it up so they don't have to go looking for it. They don't have to think about it. Here's what we recommend you do. You can tailor the message at that point, customize it because you remember something about Cassie last time you spoke to her or when you were talking to Taylor last, and you can customize it before you hit the go button, but the message goes out with that piece of content, tracks it so you know what you've done with those people and building on that prospecting cycle. Next slide, please. So obviously then when you turn them into a customer, that prospect is marked in Penny as a customer. This is now the interlinking with ByDesign. So now ByDesign is going to start surfacing customer information, order information back into the Penny app so that next time I open up my contact record with Cassie or Penny has served up a task related to Cassie, I can go and look at the order history I had with her. That information isn't being stored in Penny. It's being surfaced in real time from ByDesign so that I can get the best perspective of my relationship with Cassie over time as it goes. You can also add custom tags at that time because you may have met Cassie at an event, whether it was a party, maybe you play soccer together, or your kids are in school together, or you heard her say something about a product she really likes. So you can start adding tags because then you can use those later to filter and hone in on people. Or when you launch a new product, you can go, hey, I want to know everybody who bought product A in the last 6 months from this geographical area, maybe with these custom tags, who has not yet bought product B. So, for example, at Rodan and Fields, when they would launch a product at 9 o'clock on a Monday morning, they would do a filter like that and push it out to the field. So each rep at 9:01 got a new custom list of people to go after. They had brought product A in the past, had not bought product B. Here's a piece of content introducing the product and a talking point script ready to go. So when you think about it, there's nothing much to think about. It's here's a task list of things to do right away. That's customer care. So building on that care cycle. Any questions so far? Okay, let's move on. Next slide, please. Because what I want to do is get to the good part here is to introduce Christina, who's used both products, and let her talk about her experience in that realm. Team care, because this is a multi-level industry, a triangle-shaped business, some people call it, is based on the comp plan from ByDesign and your comp plan. You're going to have multiple levels, ranks, people that you may have recruited underneath you, and you want to be able to reach out and recognize and see what's going on. So we built Team Care to provide that information to the upline, to you, the leader, what's going on. So you can see somebody's hit rank or something, you can send them an emoji, happy face, well done, right? So recognition is part of the team care platform, making sure that you're taking care of your team. Once again, we're just trying to provide the data in real time so you can take action rather than having to go dig or think about it. Next slide, please. Custom list, as I referred to before, similar to ByDesign. Tags are what are generated by the system around all the order data. So a particular product has got a tag generated for it, or you can, as I said, generate tags on the fly for your prospects and customers so that you can go in and go, I want to know everybody who, once again, brought product A or bought product C, lives in this area, hasn't done it for a while. Maybe they're no longer a customer, haven't ordered in 60 days, all those different filters that you can play with to surface a list into Penny. Once again, nobody can say to us, I don't have anything to do today. Come on, really? Pull a tag list, a custom list, and you'll find you've got lots of people you can go after. Once again, then you've got a piece of content, a script that you can put together and reach out to those people. Next slide, please.
This is where I like
Oh,
to really talk about, the overlap and the parallels between the ByDesign offerings and Penny, because you may be thinking to yourself, well, Cassie talked about, contact groups, and now Mark's talking about custom lists. And well, there's a reason we're both talking about it, because we both know how important it is in the marketing
mhm.
of the business, right? We know reps are supposed to be doing this, whether they are or not. This is what's going to help grow their business. But the contact group functionality and really all the tools on the ByDesign side are really going to be more about the corporate office. So you and your team really putting the definitions around it, setting up the groups, and then hoping that the reps then follow up and that they know what to say and that they know how to reach out. So it is more of corporate setting it up and then kind of just hoping that the reps do the right thing, versus like on the Penny side, it's empowering your reps to help set up their own lists. You're providing the content and the verbiage so that it's much easier. You're taking it further down that path so that all they have to do is click the button to send it, right? You're still relying on the reps to do something, but you're kind of meeting them further toward them versus just halfway. So that it kind of takes the same core concepts but takes it further. And that's what we love about any of our partners, is when they take that core data and they take it further and they elevate it in the way that Penny has. So I hope that helps explain a little bit of kind of the overlap and differences between the two offerings. All right, now
Excellent.
I'll
Thank
go to
you,
your next slide for you.
Kathy. Beautiful. So content sharing. So we too have a content library. Eh, Once again, with Cassie here, we accentuate what they do, but this is where your best content lives. Now, we provide three levels of capability here. We know corporate loves their content and believes everyone in the field is going to use the corporate content exactly as they created it and push it out. No, no, no. We know that's not true. We know that leaders like to take corporate content and twist it a little bit, maybe torque it a bit, add something to it, doesn't matter. So we provide the corporate content, leader content. So with the team functionality, you can have a leader go, hey, I really like this piece of content in this script, and they can push it down to their team. So especially when they've just brought people on board who don't really know what they're doing or not feeling comfortable about creating necessarily their own content, you can push that down and go, hey, I've been really successful with this, or somebody else in my team has been really successful with this. Here's their content. And then level three is each rep can personally create or load up their own content and scripts, favorite it, and go, hey, I'm having a lot of success with this. Right? This is an individual business. Not everyone's going to follow what corporate says or what their leader says. So we provide three levels of capability on the content, whether it's PDFs, videos, whatever. New content, so the corporate can launch a new product at 9 o'clock, put a new piece of content in here, a video, whatever, and spread it out to the field instantaneously for them to use. Great. Next slide. AI powered learning. So the name of our company is Penny AI. For 6 years since we started, done machine-based learning. And more recently, because of the advent of some of the other capabilities around true AI and large language models, we're able to use the tools to learn, literally learn from what is going on. So we provide 9 core learning modules out of the box because as you onboard people, you want them to know how to run their business. We're going to provide the more generic stuff about how to run a business, how to work with Penny, etc. But we can take any content that you have, run it through our AI tool, and provide custom learning modules to you. We did that for Crunchy recently. We provided 2 modules that they said, "Hey, we need this content unique to us. Create a module for us." So we're trying to provide the modules in such a way that people aren't going away and doing a half-hour video and then doing a quiz and then forgetting everything. The idea of and structure that we provide is teach them something, quiz them in the moment, and then send them to a task that actually has them taking action on what they've just learned. Because what reinforces what you've been learning is actually then doing. So we can create that custom learning content for you and have them move from, oh, I didn't know that to, oh, that's how I do it to actually doing it and performing it. Next slide, please. And I think this is coming up on our last one practically, is just our global coverage. So we are in over 70 countries today, multiple languages. Obviously, the core ones at the top, English, Spanish, and French. So we try to make it easy to meet your people in the moment where they're doing their work with the Penny app, both mobile and desktop. Next slide, please. I'd like to introduce Christina Maniscalco at this moment, head of field sales with our great customer, Crunchy. She came to us. They were looking for an app capability. She was on the ByDesign back office, and we all got together. And this is our first integration with ByDesign. But since then, we're now working on other customers to integrate. And now that it's being built, Christina paved the path. She's got a few scars to show for it. But all that's now being built and ready to go so that any additional customers coming on board benefit by that prior work. So say hello, Christina. I'm going to turn the wheel over to you, not to put you on the spot, but I'd just like you to talk for a moment about the experience and why you were looking for a tool and what you think it delivers to those people who want to do the work.
For sure. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is it's always fun to jump on these calls, and it's even more fun when Penny's on because I'm very passionate about Penny. You're welcome. I was the guinea pig a year and a half ago. You're very welcome. It was a lot of work. I almost kind of feel like I should get some kind of share, but we'll talk about that later. Now that you're
We'll talk later.
that way. No, but I will say I've been in this industry almost 17 years, and I was an advocate the first 10. And then I went over to the corporate side, and obviously now I'm here at Penny, but I'm sorry, at Crunchy. But
Careful.
I mean, I might as well be at Penny too. But anyway, I when I first got to Crunchy, they had an app, and it was strictly to hold content and training. And when I first got here, I knew the first thing I wanted to implement was some kind of CRM system because I know that that is key to successful advocates. So I went on the search to find an app that did it all, and lo and behold, there was Penny. So like Mark said, ByDesign wasn't integrated with Penny yet, so it took a little bit of time, but everyone was wonderful. We ended up launching last January. The team was incredible at Penny to just onboard. They did so many trainings with our field. But I will say, just at the end of the day, it's such an incredible tool for our field. We do a lot of trainings on it just because it's how to get people into action, right? A lot of times we'll have coaching calls, our team will have coaching calls with our advocates, and they just don't know where to start when they want to work their business. And I remember doing that when I was in the field a long time ago. Like, okay, I set up this 30-minute block of time. What am I going to do? And then you start making a list, and then their 30 minutes is done, and they actually haven't done anything. That's why Penny is so powerful, because it makes the list for you. So it integrates with all of the data. Anytime they're getting a new order, it's obviously going into ByDesign, and then it's uploaded into Penny, and they're seeing, oh, so and so just placed an order. You should go reach out to them. Or so and so hasn't ordered in 4 months. You should probably follow up with them. And then we implemented a 2-2-2 method, which is, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months to follow up. But all of that stuff is kind of, you can make it your own. Some of the other things that I love about Penny, those scripts, and then my team loves that you can schedule content to be to be shared. So a lot of times, if you have a lot of content that you're sharing with your field, it takes a lot of time to upload those things, and we can do that 2 weeks prior if you have the content from marketing, right? Let's be real. But you can upload that 2 weeks prior and then have that launch date set to when it goes live to the field. So like Mark said, when you have a launch at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday, everything is going to launch at the same time. We also house like all of our replay links in there. So any replays to trainings or calls or anything, that's all in there. And then we also share like a lot of our stories or Instagram posts too, because Penny is a way to share that content with their clients. So if we're sharing something from a corporate level and there's an advocate that is not really great at creating content for social media or a carousel on Instagram, they can instantly share that either via text or download it and post it as their own on Instagram. So all of our content is in Penny as well. So everything is in Penny. I will say the revenue part of it, this is a revenue driver. Our active users in Penny we saw over a 700% increase in revenue from the active users in Penny. So it is working. It is driving sales. What was the other thing I was going to tell you guys? And about 65% of our field are actually in Penny. Again, we have a lot of people in our field and I'm sure you guys all do too, that are just personal shoppers. But the people that are in Penny that are plugged in and using it are seeing results. And then I was going to drop just a link in to our Penny app resources page that we kind of created when we launched Penny. We use Shopify, so it's just going to send you over there. But I'll drop it in the chat if you guys want to see an example. But yeah, I mean, any questions, but I feel like I talk too much, so.
Definitely not talking too much. I love it. I love that her background is that she was a rep in the field. So
Exactly.
what better resource to help define rep tools than somebody who did it for 10 years. And if she's telling you that this app would be helpful, you can really trust that because she's lived that life. Versus me or Mark, obviously, we weren't out there hustling. I don't know about Mark, actually. I know I wasn't. But I
No, I
love
did.
when former reps are really passionate about tools because that's when you know that they work. So I will open it up. See, are there any questions that anybody has for either myself, for Mark, for Christina? Now is the chance. All right.
Come on, don't be shy.
All right. Well, it doesn't look like we have any questions. So we can go ahead and wrap it up early. I will say if you're curious about Penny, about ByDesign, about anything that we've shared today, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach out to myself. You can reach out to Mark. You can reach out to our support team. They will put us in touch with you. Go to bydesign.com. I mean, there's a lot of ways to get in touch with any of us. We will also follow up with everybody who was registered to see if you have any questions or if you'd like to learn more. But I just want to thank Mark so much for joining us. Thank you, Christina, for all of your very real thoughts on this partnership. And honestly, for the scars that you bear, somebody has to be the first, and it's never a good position to be in. So we thank you for that. So thank you, everybody. And we hope to see you on the next installment, which will be coming up next month. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.